Imagine jumping over a 7'2" giant like he isn't even there, or dribbling someone so hard they hit the floor. Now picture being the one on the wrong end of that play. The NBA is known for its legendary moments of skills, but also for when it becomes purely embarrassing. These are some of the moments that didn't just go viral, but entered the NBA history books. But none of these capture this better than Vince Carter's infamous dunk of death. Vince Carter dunk of death over Frédéric Weis. During the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Vince Carter pulled off a dunk that's still talked about today. He intercepted a pass and, with only France's 7'2" center Frédéric Weis in his way, leaped over him to slam the ball. The crowd's reaction was crazy, and Carter's teammates, especially Kevin Garnett, went wild. Weis, looking stunned, later said, "I learned people can fly." The French media even gave it a name, calling it Le Dunk de la Mort, or the Dunk of Death. This moment showed Carter's unbelievable ability, but what about Weis, who was literally destroyed? That play wasn't just about Carter showing off his skills, it stuck with Weis for the rest of his career. It was so unforgettable that no matter what he did, people always brought up that dunk. Weis happened to be a first-round NBA draft pick by the New York Knicks in 1999, even though he never played in the league, and years later, when asked about the dunk, Weis didn't hold a grudge. Instead, he admitted it was an unforgettable moment in basketball history and gave Carter his due respect. If this was humiliating, then what would it be like when a legend is destroyed by a rookie? Allen Iverson crossover on Michael Jordan. Now, this play didn't just make highlight reels, it shook up the whole game. On March 12, 1997, the Philadelphia 76ers were playing the Chicago Bulls at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Iverson, still new to the league, but already carrying himself like a star, gets the ball at the top of the key. And guarding him, Michael Jordan. 6 championships, one of the best defenders ever. Iverson had been waiting for this. He had studied Jordan's footwork and knew how he moved. Now it was time to test himself. With a swift crossover dribble, Iverson sent Jordan off balance, then nailed a jump shot. The crowd erupted. The bench jumped up. The announcers lost it. Even Jordan, as competitive as he was, knew he'd just seen something special. This wasn't just a move, it was a moment that not only showed Iverson's confidence and skill, it also showed that even the greatest players can be humbled. Iverson later said he'd studied Jordan's game for years, knowing his chance would come. Okay, enough with the friendly stuff, let's see some real rude and humiliating moments. First in this segment is Scottie Pippen's dunk on Patrick Ewing. On May 20th, 1994, during Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, Scottie Pippen did something unforgettable. The Chicago Bulls were fighting the New York Knicks for a spot in the playoffs. As the game went on, it was getting more and more intense. Then it happened. Scottie Pippen delivered a powerful dunk over Patrick Ewing, one of the toughest centers in the league. As Ewing crashed to the floor, Pippen stood above him, letting him know just who destroyed him. Pippen didn't stop there. After the dunk, he walked over to Knicks coach Pat Riley to talk, if not taunt him. The boldness. Of course, the fans went wild, especially with Pippen's stare at Spike Lee, one of the Knicks' biggest fans. The noise in the stadium was deafening. Despite the technical foul Pippen got for taunting, the Bulls had the game in hand, winning 93-79 and setting up a Game 7. Looking at that play again, it's really clear it wasn't just about points. It was about making a statement. And of course, this moment stands as one of the most disrespectful plays in NBA history. But not really the dunk, but for how Pippen completely took over the entire show after it. Clearly, the NBA is violent in a way. And speaking of violence, no one was taught that language more clearly than the next person on our list. James Harden's crossover on Wesley Johnson. On February 28, 2018, the Houston Rockets faced the LA Clippers at the Staples Center in LA. During the game, the ball got to James Harden, and he decided to use that opportunity to send someone flying across the court, and that someone happened to be Wesley Johnson. Harden performed a left-to-right crossover. This quick dribble sent Clippers player Johnson to the floor. But that was not all. Harden paused, then stared down at Johnson before calmly sinking a three-pointer. The Rockets won the game, adding one more win to their 13-game winning streak. And as usual, the play was so unforgettable that it went viral on social media, with many sharing and talking about the moment. Imagine how it would feel for his kids to see their dad being destroyed on the court. If you think this was violent, then you need to see the next one on our list. Shaquille O'Neal's dunk on Chris Dudley. This is my favorite. You know Shaquille O'Neal and his power on the court, which almost every player feared. Well, this theory became clear during a game against the New York Knicks on March 18, 1999, where O'Neal meets with Chris Dudley. O'Neal was moving with the ball towards the basket, and Dudley tried his best to keep up, but Shaq's strength was just too much. The brawl finally ended with O'Neal backing down Chris Dudley while he delivered a monstrous dunk. The crowd at Madison Square Garden in New York City reacted with amazement. But after the dunk, O'Neal shoved Dudley to the ground, a bold move that adds even more fire to the moment. Why is this moment more humiliating than others? First, think about Dudley. He's just been overpowered in front of a full arena. How do you handle that? Well, this is what Dudley does. He picks up the ball in frustration and throws it at O'Neal, showing the emotional impact of the play. You could almost feel the anger and embarrassment coming from Dudley. How do you recover from something like that? Being dunked on by Shaq isn't just about the physical challenge, it's about the psychological hit too. O'Neal and Dudley had a history, and this dunk only added to their rivalry. This wasn't the first time they'd clashed, and it sure wouldn't be the last. Now just imagine this kind of humiliation happens to you, but this time by one of the most egotistical basketball players of all time. That is our next moment on the list. LeBron James' spin move on Paul Milsap. In 2010, LeBron James, playing for the Miami Heat, faced the Atlanta Hawks. The game was electric from the start. LeBron had the ball and was alone against Milsap. It was clear right away that Milsap was in trouble. LeBron made a quick spin move that left Milsap stumbling and grasping at air. James then moved to the basket for an easy dunk. The fans in American Airlines Arena in Miami stood up roaring. It wasn't just the dunk that made the play memorable, it was how effortlessly LeBron moved, while Milsap had no chance of stopping him. That moment quickly became one of the plays people talked about when they looked back on the season. The painful part of this all is that LeBron acted as if nothing had happened. After the dunk, he didn't need to say anything. His game did the talking. LeBron's calm, his focus, and his leadership, it was clear he was in control. Millsap's reaction said it all. You could see the frustration on his face as he tried to recover. Defenders like him usually pride themselves on staying strong, but in that moment, you could tell it hit him. He was a solid player, but LeBron made him look powerless. That feeling of being completely outmatched, it's tough to shake. Imagine what Milsap was thinking. How do you defend against a guy like LeBron when he's moving like that? But what if you're face-to-face with someone like Kobe Bryant? We'll see what happens. Kobe Bryant's crossover on Steve Nash. It was January 14th, 2006, at the Staples Center in LA, a game that quickly became unforgettable in NBA history. Kobe Bryant, already known for taking over games, was about to do something fans would remember forever. The Phoenix Suns were playing against the Lakers, and Steve Nash, a great point guard back then, was trying to guard Kobe on a fast break. But what happened next was something no one saw coming. Kobe, focused as always, started dribbling the ball down the court. He faced Nash with the ball, then made a fast dribble. Bryant's quick crossover caused Nash to lose balance and fall to the ground. Kobe then took a jump shot. The crowd at Staples Center went wild, knowing they had just seen something incredible. For Nash, that must have stung. Nash is known for his quickness and smart plays. He wasn't used to getting outplayed like that. Getting back up with that frustrated look on his face must have been tough, especially since Kobe, who had so many skills, didn't let up for a second. Nash probably didn't need reminding, but this moment was one he'd probably want to forget. The fans watching had just witnessed something unforgettable. But before we end this video, let's see something truly humiliating. Steph Curry slips and airballs. Steph Curry, known for his skills, had just gotten the ball and was heading for the basket. Now, when a player like Steph holds the ball, coupled with the fact that it was 2 minutes and 17 seconds to the end of the third quarter, you know he wasn't going to miss exactly what everyone thought. Steph decided to end it with an amazing dunk, except that never happened. When Steph got to the basket, he slipped and fell. He must have felt shocked, and to hide the embarrassment, he stepped out to score a three-pointer, but then airballed it. The issue here is that Steph wasn't being dribbled, he was the one with the ball. I mean, who even slips on a dunk and then airballs his second chance? Well, the only answer is that day wasn't his day. Anyone on this list is sure to never forget those experiences in their life, and the world won't forget either. But which one of these moments do you think is the most humiliating? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more amazing NBA moments. See you next time.